as everyone knows, the things official divine does, I cannot do. Right? I can't edit all crazy. I can't do any of that. So one of the reasons why I'm a reactionist who barely edits any of his reactions. You know? So I mean, this is why we watch Official Divine, you know? The edits, the music, to see how strong people are, and he dropped a banger for us. Official's been doing like bangers back to back, but we got How Strong is Darwin Watterson. Or is it Watterson? I don't know. Confirm that for me in the comment section. Is it Watterson or Watterson? But without further ado, we're gonna hop right into Official Divine's edit. That's what I like to call them, bro, because they're amazing, they're immaculate, they're edits. But if you enjoy it, leave a like, comment in the comments below, and let me write you next. And as always, hit that sub button.
Darwin Watterson. In a universe where rulers of physics are suggestions and the laws of reality get rewritten every Tuesday, one creature has done the impossible, ascended from a common household fish to a fourth wall-breaking powerhouse with the potential to unravel.
Hey, okay, so Darwin's a fish and Gumball's a cat. Is Gumball a cat? I still don't see how Gumball is a cat.
Existence itself. His name is Darwin Raspin Caspin Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III, but you can just call him.
There's no way that's his name. Let's go back. There's no fucking way that's his name.
To unravel existence itself. His name is Darwin Raspin Caspin Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III, but you can just call him Darwin.
This has to be cat, bro. This has to be cat.
The fish who became a god. Darwin is a walking paradox of power wrapped in orange scales and a heart too big for the laws of physics to handle. Born a goldfish, raised by chaos, and chosen by the narrative gods, Darwin isn't just strong, he's the backup engine of reality, the second son of fiction, whose power doesn't scream, it smiles. At first glance, Darwin is innocent, loving, and soft-spoken.
These edits he does are just like how he plays with his words while the edit is going to make the edit and the video or photo match up with what he's saying, bro. Official Divine, bro, we need to start making awards for YouTubers that have the best edits. And I promise you, Official Divine's like top 5.
Yet beneath that warmth is a resume of feats that would give even the strongest beings in existence a run for their money. Darwin is a fish that has survived being shattered, erased, reduced to droplets, and turned into dust, and yet
Yeah, we did a video on Gumball, and that video will be out soon. I don't know how I'm releasing this before that. Again, editing. I'm not a great editor. I don't feel like taking time out to edit things, you know? It's just not me. But that video will be out. But Gumball, bro, the level of bullshit that character is insane.
every time he's come back like nothing's happened. In the crew, Darwin is blown apart like ceramic, shattered into fragments, and instantly reforms himself. In the procrastinators, he eats himself out of existence and then returns. That isn't just normal durability, that's resistance to existence erasure. With existence erasure being more potent than death, because there is no afterlife to travel to, you're just gone. But Darwin's never been one to give up, and he's always on his way. In The Secret, Darwin and Gumball are reduced to droplets by a molecular compression machine,
and then they just
liquefy to their base components and somehow reconstitute themselves without any effort. That's instant regeneration.
Like I was saying this in the Gumball video, that's a better healing factor than Deadpool and Wolverine put together, bro. Like, think about
molecular destruction. And if that
wasn't
enough, Darwin doesn't need his soul to survive. In another episode, he's literally separated from his soul and casually returns it back to his body. That means Darwin is capable of interacting with non-physical constructs and survive complete metaphysical severance. But let's go even further. This fish can breathe underwater and on land because, of course he can. Physics was a guest in Elmore and Darwin showed at the door. Darwin's combat is ridiculous as well. In The Remote and the Parents, he goes head to head with Nicole Watterson, arguably the strongest character in the entire show, and holds his own long enough to survive. He even uses pacifist grappling techniques in the cage, and he can pull off hand-to-hand combat sequences that directly scale to Gumball Street Fighter level brawling. A fish who grew legs that knows martial arts. Yeah, that's pretty
Darwin beat Gumball before?
Scaling directly to Gumball is extremely impressive, but both of these brothers have shared most of their feats together. In one instance, Gumball and Darwin were late for school and ran so fast that they literally broke the screen and broke time itself. But it doesn't stop there, as both brothers realize they now have the ability to control time itself, as they literally slap the clock backwards and forwards, launching themselves through time, and even before time existed, before the creation of the universe, before the Big Bang. And both Gumball and Darwin stand.
And then they said that if I'm guessing if Gumball did it, Darwin did it. They said that they tanked the Big Bang. Out of whatever, bro.
In there as the birth of the universe explodes. The Big Bang produces 90 duodecillion joules of energy, and I know that sounds like a big number, so let's break it down. For comparison, the sun is so hot that it gives off enough energy every second to power Earth for 500,000 years, but it would take more than 1 octillion suns burning for 10 billion years each just to equal the energy of the Big Bang, which means the Big Bang would have enough energy to power Earth for over 1 billion trillion years, which is longer than the age of the universe itself. And this fish just shrugged it off like nothing happened. But it doesn't stop here, as Darwin is even able to exist between dreams, which is stated in the episode itself to be a place devoid of space and time, making Darwin's speed immeasurable. Darwin just sneezing, yes, just a sneeze, can obliterate hundreds of homes, launch Banana Joe and his entire family across the Pacific Ocean, and send cars and trucks.
There's some sneaky shit that he throws in there that like pisses me off, you know, like
Banana Joe and his entire family across the Pacific Ocean.
Oh man, Fisher Divine, man, we love you, bro.
And send cars and trucks flying hundreds of feet into the air, meaning Darwin can destroy your entire livelihood just because he had a feather stuck between his gills. When he gets mad or emotionally triggered, Darwin becomes an elemental nightmare, capable of fire manipulation, sound-induced paralysis, and voice-based attacks so loud they can literally immobilize others. That's a full-on sound wave force that he does by accident, and when he screams his absolute head off, he can literally crack the cameraman's camera that we're watching the episode on. In terms of speed, Darwin scales directly to Gumball, who dodges lasers from Bobbert, who is stated to use real lasers, which would make him faster than light. But after doing this, it's kind of irrelevant. He moves alongside Nicole, who can blitz across town in seconds.
This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. Dodge lasers.
And he reacts to fourth wall bending events in real time. This isn't speed in the traditional sense. This is narrative agility, the ability to operate even as reality bends. Darwin has tanked massive pain explosions, the destruction of Elmore High School, an energy blast that would disintegrate most life forms. But most importantly, Darwin survives transitions between genres, styles, and formats. In the Inquisition, when the show turns live action, he continues to function while everyone else glitches. That means Darwin has meta durability. He can survive not just in-story events, but changes to the story structure itself. He can stop time so he can finish reading a card. He has age manipulation, rapidly turning him and Gumball into elderly men.
This is what I was saying, bro. Like how? Okay, bro. It has a better healing factor than Deadpool, Wolverine, and Hulk put together, right? That's already OP. Then they're faster than the Flash and Barry Allen put together. And don't tell me they're not, bro.
Just by talking, he has magnesium manipulation, fire bending, levitation, and teleportation.
Now he's the Avatar. Now he's a firebender. Now he's the Avatar. He's a firebender now too. Okay, bro.
He can create and drive an invisible car with nothing but his pure imagination, meaning he has the power to generate matter and narrative outcomes purely through belief alone. Darwin is also a master manipulator, not through malice, but through emotion. He can guilt trip people into obedience, hypnotize them with his eyes, and use sheer empathy to overpower magical forces. In one episode, he broke through a love potion just by loving someone else more. He weaponizes guilt, overwhelms with affection, and softens gods with his soul. And he has a literal cute combo attack. Gotta love it. He also has law manipulation, censoring an entire episode to prevent anything unpleasant from happening. That's right, Darwin can change the laws of his very own universe to enforce his peace. Even his perception is a weapon as well. In the others, he filters people out of reality simply because they're not important to him. In another episode, he ignores an alien apocalypse so hard that the apocalypse fixes itself. I mean, okay. He can absorb information by eating books, gain new dialects instantly.
He can absorb information by eating books. Who made this show, bro? Somebody comment the owner of the show, bro. Like this is. At some point, it begins to be too much. Superman's not doing this shit. Here's the tier list. At the very top of the tier list, we have like as far as like characters that aren't like okay, bro. At this point, you're just making them to be like something like crazy. Superman. Superman is at the top. Anything past Superman is like, bro, you're just trying to. What point are you trying to prove here? What point? Because at this point, you're just telling me Darwin can beat Superman.
He can fuse with Gumball to become even stronger, and since Gumball is a Saiyan, it looks like they have their own version of Gogeta. But Vegito is the GOAT, you can argue with the wall. He can induce sleep with his eyes, manipulate dreams, and resist aging because the universe itself won't allow him to grow old. In the job, he's aware that Richard getting employed is causing time to rewind, so he adapts to it. Meaning Darwin perceives non-linear timelines like a plot twist. They don't affect him unless he allows them to. And probably the most terrifying part, Darwin might be able to end his own universe. Not with any weapons or screams or power-ups, but just by being too important to the story. He shares the protagonist status with Gumball, and if he were to vanish, the structure of the show would collapse. That means Darwin's existence is tethered not to his body, but to the narrative glue that holds Elmore together. If he ever chooses to leave, the show ends. Darwin isn't just a side character, he's a concept. His kindness scaled to apocalyptic levels, his friendship weaponized into a divine force, and probably the scariest part of all of this is that he doesn't even know it. Overall, Darwin would scale to fifth dimensional or low complex multiversal with immeasurable speed. And shout out to Alan who dropped 80 to sponsor this video.
Bro. Nah, official define. The last video we did, it was like $50. Now it's 80 just to do a video. I ain't gonna lie, bro. For your time and work, bro, $80 is kind of, you know what I'm saying? Inflation, right? So now we gotta take inflation. See, before it was like no inflation, so it was like 40. 40 could get me a lot of the grocery store. Now 40 going to 80 because inflation that made shit double basically. So yeah, you know, I respect it, bro. I respect the grind. I respect the grind and the hustle, official divine. But without further ado, that is it. Again, I did a video on Gumball, and they're basically like the same character in terms of their power, just different, like different variations of their power. But in terms of how strong they are, they're the same. So it's not really surprising to me. But yeah, like at some point, it gets to a point with us where it's like once you get past Superman bullshit, like because Superman's a bullshit character, right? He's the sign of hope, and he's just made to be like he's kind of like just a stronger Captain America, right? They're both righteous men. They both want to, you know, be help the world and stuff like that. Superman is just a billion. Superman is just an alien, right? Captain America is a human with super soldier serum. Once you get past Superman bullshit, because they made him to be a bullshit character, bro, it's like at that point, bro, it's like, is your character even fun anymore? Can this motherfucker die? Can he lose? Can he not win a fight? You know? It's just kind of like the only character I like that can't lose a fight is Jinwoo. Now Jinwoo not being able to lose a fight, that's fine with me, bro. Jinwoo be aura farming like a motherfucker. That's fine with me. Anybody else that can't lose a fight is kind of crazy. Without further ado, that's it for the reaction. If you enjoyed the reaction, leave a like, comment on the comments, and below. Let me know what you next. As always, hit that sub button.